in any way.
I like the Nocturne.
Nor will they have it here.
Because I'm just looking at the T1 comp to me. It's a little all over the place, right? There are parts that want to team fight. There are parts that want to go for early skirmishes. There's some kite back. Now, you're playing Renata Victor into a short-range composition. That I think you're always going to be happy about. Is he going to play like Gangplank or something? I'm seeing this man smile.
He is giggling a lot.
Oh, do it.
Okay.
Do it. It's the read. Yes!
Yes, there it is. Not a pirate. Instead, he's gone for a Viking. And he's just going to be yelling bro. I love this. A champion that yells bro all the time after a bro victory earlier today.
By Sobero?
By a guy literally who played on bro for 2 years.
Makes too much sense.
Oh, it's too clean. That is how you instantly get fans. As soon as you just pop up into the LCK, you're like...
A little smile as well. He's like,
yeah.
I'm about to do something.
Uh-huh.
And actually locking it in. I kind of love it. Will it actually be good?
I mean, the Ghoulie Wall is like exclusively kind of similar to FAKER. We'll go into that immediately after we get onto the Rift.
미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Onto the Rift for T1 versus BNK FEARX.
First things first.
Yes.
Jaedong.
So
I don't know enough about StarCraft 1 to really say to certainty. I know he's one of the greatest Turks of all time. Is he the greatest Turks of all time?
I think so. I think
we have Wolf on the. I'm sure. Wolf
we have Wolf there. As far as StarCraft 1 is concerned, it was always Flash versus Jaedong. Like that is just how it went. And it was Terran versus Zerg, and it was just those two. That was like the whole story. Trap the Viking in a cage. As you cannot trap him in a top lane.
Is he just...
He is just he's ghosting. He's ghosting. We're killing him right now. As he'll land the undertow and down goes FAKER. There is nowhere he can go. He knew he couldn't flash. Vikla almost dies for it and has to sacrifice his flash, but that's first blood over to BNK. Guys, he's got some vibes. He is helping out. As now we've got to dive towards the bottom side of the map. That bailout is not happening as Kellen will go down. It is a 1-for-1 sacrifice. As Owner will come on over and catch this wave, but Gumayushi, he's not going to be getting the experience for that one.
Outside of specifically dueling, just isn't that impressive as
Sobero just inside the Ghoulie Wall and just having a good time.
By the way, he hasn't spent his money yet.
Okay, he's still having a great time in this lane, as we can see.
Yeah, Olaf's his base stats are
not bad. Not bad. Does have a decent amount of being able to stay alive as well in the kit, although it's not really working against a bunch of ghouls. The Morning Mist may need to be used here as, yep, that's just a solo kill for Doran. So
that's challengers, baby!
And Chronicler, I'd like to introduce you to this concept that we like to call a caster curse.
I know what you're talking about. I think that is peak debut challengers experience right there.
Well, as you did previously allude to, he was sitting on a bunch of money. And so he goes back, he buys himself a Phage, teleports towards that top side of the map. And FAKER putting on some pressure here in the mid lane as well. As Vikla may just die as the Arcane Storm comes through. FAKER is going to get killed by Tibbers because Tibbers gets real mad after Annie goes down. So a 1-for-1 trade in the mid lane. As I guess it actually works out for BNK because Vikla is going to have his flashback up.
FAKER will be in serious trouble. Also opens up the possibility for this mid lane play, and Vikla died earlier. I think this Dragon is just going over to BNK, and BNK's early game actually looking great. Outside of, Sobero getting solo killed. I mean, that part was...
When it comes to, like, Olaf play, I think getting solo killed here or there is kind of just how it works, yeah. It just, sometimes you remember that you don't have, so that it's a reference to Iron Maiden. I just feel like that'd be metal.
It would be cool.
She's not, though, as we can see here. Doran is now in a little bit of trouble, ladies and gentlemen. The reckless swing, there's the shot. This is exactly how Olaf wants to play the game. And that is killing you and dying.
That's peak, right there.
I don't know if it's good for Sobero, but he is doing stuff that he wants to do. As all right, True Shot Barrage is going to soften up these Void Grubs. Carrier's going in. Pop Blossom's coming down as well, though the Fate's Call needs to be invested. My God, those Tangle Barbs were so good. As now Vikla is going to try and take down Gumayusi, but he gets bailed out of that one. Owner down to 100 health, and Faker is looking to clean this one up. Kellen, not a whole lot he can do in this instance, and T1 win themselves the fight.
Straight up out-executed.
About the Wombo combo, because they're not really going to be trying to team fight you. As a possible fear here onto Raptor. Diablo is moving over though, and Kellen's in position. Carrier finally gets here, and Owner is playing super far up. Some aggressive play out of the man, as the Crab going to move back towards T1.
They're about to be a member up. I don't know about this for BNK.
A little bit dicey here as the Maiden comes down. Doran gets involved a little bit early though, as now the Paranoia comes in. They look to just get rid of this Xin Zhao as quickly as possible, and Win doesn't have time to become Lightning because he's dead. Kellen now doing his very best to survive, but he's going to get smoked down where he stands, and it's a double kill for Owner. Another one going over to Doran as he takes down Diablo. And it is going from bad to worse, as yes, Ragnarok doesn't get you out of the ghoulie wall, as it turns out. And so Sobero is...
just gonna die?
Possibly just dead. Yeah, the Morning Mist is gonna be able to slow him down. And there is the kill onto the Olaf. And man, it was such a great start for B&K. Let's focus on that.
It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
Didn't last very long. We're 11 minutes in, Atlas. T1 has 11 kills, where you can obviously bully him. But also, if you do fall behind, isn't that just the worst matchup imaginable? Because like you don't get to trade, you don't have range, and they've had either Carrier or Owner just continuously hovering around
I would
him.
say that Faker is in trouble, but he's not. True Shot Barrage is going to snag him, but there's the Paranoia. Vikla may be in trouble, but that is...
Turn?
Yeah, the turn is going to come on through here, as Owner taking a lot of damage. Pop Blossom holds him in place. He does get a kill before that even happens, though, as the bailout not quite able to work here, as the ghoulie wall also not quite happening. And there's Sobero, ladies and gentlemen. It's the double, and now Diablo trying to get amongst it. Faker throws down the gravity field, says no to the rest of this fight, but B&K are back on the board.
That was a 1 for 4! How did that happen?
I have absolutely no idea. We were just like signing the obituary.
Yep. When Annie ulted him, and then they took the Ezreal as well. Will this change the outcome of the game? Most likely no. But I do love that B&K just keep being the attack on your ult is good, no? If you're Nocturne?
I mean, yeah, it does make some sense, but, you know, Stride Break is a pretty powerful item if you can get in amongst it, as Vikla is now dead, ladies and gentlemen. Doran is going to just allow his Maiden to kill him. Look at this! It's an NPC battle in the bottom lane, but the NPC is now alone.
Okay, I think that's mean to say about Vikla. Okay, he hasn't been playing super well, but
it was
let's be...
Tibbers and the Maiden, I'll have you know, Chronicler.
I know, I just wanted to see your response.
I was a bit toxic.
It's a bit nefarious.
It was a bit nefarious. You have definitely gotten a little bit more edgy, Chronicler, in your time here.
For my standards, yes. As
we're going to have a look at it again. Look, and Doran's actually cheating because he has more NPCs. And he can make them...
Yeah, it's not quite fair. And then Annie, obviously, once you get caught in the ghoulie wall, you just kind of die, and there's not really anything you can do.
A Rift Herald might be the moment here. They can then use that to try and make this map a little bit smaller for T1.
Their team fight is still really strong. I think T1's too late.
Yeah, Kellen standing in a pretty good position here as the handshake does come through, but that is just a dead Rift Herald as the teleport brought Sobero in. He's looking for a flank angle here. He gets into the brush. That does give T1 all the information here as the ghoulie wall goes down to make things annoying. Carrier continuing to find these handshakes.
Well, the poke, they're playing for...
Oh, it's really smart from T1. They're just trying to create some space here as they go in onto Owner, and the Pop Blossom finds everyone! The bailout comes down yet again. They do kill the Nico, though, and so Owner stays alive for a long time into the backline. Goes the Olaf, but he's unable to get on top of Gumayusi. He uses those summoner spells so beautifully. And I was about to say T1 just had the positional advantage around that mid lane, and they utilize it so beautifully to just say no to B&K. They're going to look for even an inner turret off the back end of this as well. Oh man, I feel like they took so much from B&K just going for a desperation engage.
killing Owner is nice, but that's not really what the goal of the composition is for BNK.
You love to see it. You can take the Doran out of the build, but you can't take him off the Rift. He will still just go for the team fights. And he's finding it once again. Carrier up here alongside him. Let's see whether Doran and the Maiden can survive as the bailout does come in. The health bar is not going to quite be low enough though, as Diablo gets close, to be perfectly honest. Owner on the cross map is going to be taking the second dragon for T1, as the Rift Herald does deal with this top outer turret. Still actually a bit of a help here for B&K. Outside of the fact that they lose the dragon, they may be able to get another charge. As you can see here, they do manage to collect it, so half health on the inner turret. Top lane, that one, I'm going to give it a...
Oh golly, oh geez.
Oh darn. Yeah, it's a bit of that. It's just not exactly Vicla's time at this point. And the Annie, the comeback mechanics, not that many of them.
Oh yeah, flash ult. That's a classic.
I mean, I guess you're basically support.
All you need.
So you need Kellen to be fed or something like that. As he is going to find the flash stun onto Faker. Arcane Storm comes down. He does flash away and puts everyone into the gravity field and says, "Nah."
That's a good trade.
Yeah,
take that.
Get the flash. Okay, mid lane is facing off here in the brush.
No flash.
Raptor turns up. This time around, maybe there's an option, but the rest of T1, they get in position. The handshake's gorgeous. Faker just going to walk his way out. B&K thinking that they got enough buttons to take down this Otacon. Let's see whether that is indeed the case. As Vikla, he can go back, teleport in. B&K looking for the turn immediately though, as we can see, hostile takeover. Gonna find only Raptor as the goalie wall is gonna lock up Sobro. He's now looking to run his way out as the Maiden is chasing them all down. And T1, they do get them off the Otacon. Is this enough to get the objective for themselves?
I don't know about doing it themselves. They feel confident. Faker is back with full health. The zone control is decent.
It's a 6v6 now as well. Tithers and the Maiden getting amongst it. And B&K, they're just not going to go for it. They don't have the confidence. And the Otacon just going to go over to T1.
Was a little worried when I saw that TP, but Carrier ensures, together with Owner, that operation make sure Doran doesn't get instantly blown up is a success.
Yeah.
Actually gets out.
Which is going to be the battlefield that we're looking for as Diablo finding an angle. Gumi, oh, proccing the W as well.
That might be second dragon for B&K here.
Yeah, especially considering they're going to be without a Kalista. That being said, he is actually taking the Wolves instead. Diablo trying to do it one more time as Faker. If at first or second you don't succeed, try again. And unfortunately, don't try again, because it never really works here, ladies and gentlemen. Owner, though, is going low. Carrier bails himself out, but it's not quite going to work as it's a 1-for-1 trade. Vikla, unfortunately, just doesn't have the health bar to survive in these fights. And Doran is just taking the base.
It's still kind of a window. Oh, they're not going to go for... I thought they were going to actually go for Dragon. There's no TPs. I think they could have. Instead, they're looking for the collapse onto Doran, who is going to trade his life for an inhib, which I think you're not too sad about. If you can turn it into Dragon.
Well, let's see what he can actually find here as he's going to flash. There's a blast cone.
Never mind.
Never mind. A-okay.
Really felt like they could have gotten him from more angles and probably killed him.
This has been a fun game, though. This has been a much more fun game than I was expecting.
I was expecting a blowout. That's the kind of the B&K special, though. I feel like they always go out in style. They do go out a lot because they're 5-9.
And it's not even necessarily in style, but it is on their own terms. That is definitely a fact. That's all right. Dragon going to be secured. That is Soul Point going over to T1. 1.5k the lead for Doran. 1.5 also the lead for Owner.
I also really like his choice for Phase Rush into Olaf specifically. It's not something we really talked about too much, but obviously not the normal rune you go. On YORICK, I've seen mostly Conquer. I want to say a Grasp or two as well, but not going to be the case here, and allows you to actually
I feel like you'd get a bit more sticky. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that as well, but I think it's also allows you to
run away
see early on, right?
Yeah, the idea is to have short trades against Olaf. Olaf, generally, if you stay around him, he kills you.
Did see that. Third item now done for Guma. There is the Terminus now finished for him. Death Stance as well for Sober, which I do think is quite good. Faker has not gone for a very damage-oriented build. Right, we're looking at Zhonya's third. So between the Mercs and then Roa and then Cosmic Drive, it's hard, really hard to take him down. And he will be doing a good job of kiting his, oh my god.
Oh,
a little ghoul that could. Come on.
Get him, get him, get him. Get in.
Hey!
There he is. He's like, I'm finished. I only wanted to kill your brother.
No!
Fortunately, you're going to get taken down by
He did get his revenge.
He did. The revenge of the Merc Wolf. As, all right, Vikla, let's do it. Doran doesn't get stunned, though. And he just wanders out of range. He places Sobero in a circle, and now he's just looking to kill him. There he goes. Vikla now in a bit of, not a bit of trouble. He's dead. Yeah, Doran is way too large. Now T1 should be able to take themselves a Baron because Doran just like 1v2 double killed.
He's going to end the game.
Yeah, all that.
He's going to... Raptor can steal.
Yeah, does it matter though is the question. The smite is not even required because the rend is what secures it. Down goes this Xin Zhao, and Kellen in this side lane will not be able to do anything to Olaf. Yeah, Diablo is going to get back to base, but I think a lot of him wishes he didn't. As, yeah, he's on the fountain, but the Maiden does not care about your fountain. And Doran doesn't care about your Nexus. He's going to kill that, and T1